growing trend we're seeing with our clients embarking on ambitious international expansion plans is that regulatory developments at home are making it easier for those companies to break into new markets, which interestingly is contrary to what some might say. Our clients in developed markets are increasingly seeing the benefits of domestic regulation for two key reasons. National regulatory reform makes them more competitive in the global marketplace, and local regulation helps to balance the interests of industry and consumers. The research we have completed shows that this trend is particularly prevalent in the shipping, transport, healthcare and life sciences sectors. In the case of shipping and transport, for example, domestic regulation promotes successful, safe and sustainable maritime and transport services that meet the needs of industry and consumers in a rapidly changing global environment. In the case of healthcare, the health of millions of people is enhanced and improved every day through the effective regulation of medicines and medical devices underpinned by science and research. It can be said that international regulation assists companies' international activities, though not as convincingly as domestic rules. Enhanced regulation also encourages investment in innovation. This is especially the case in more developed markets such as the US and Europe. When surveyed, over 68% of the market actually believes that when it comes to companies' decisions on whether or not to invest in a new market, regulation plays a key role. This is especially true of the energy and natural resources sectors, as once there is regulatory visibility, clients from those sectors are able to adjust, anticipate and make strategic investment decisions. Our survey also shows that markets with clear and well-developed governance and regulation are more appealing than others. Geographically speaking, the US and Singapore are seen globally as two of the better markets to do business in due to the transparent regulatory environment, the protections in place, the clarity of certain processes and the overall understanding of how to work through the system.
Despite improvements in business regulation, uncertainty around cross-border transaction rules continues to create headaches for some of our clients, especially in less developed markets such as Africa and parts of Asia. This is because the less developed the regulatory framework, the higher the risk, because companies cannot anticipate what is coming their way. In some African and Asian markets where regulation is insufficiently developed, efforts are continuously being made to establish the legislative structures that will better facilitate cross-border business. The absence of intellectual property laws can put businesses at a disadvantage. This is particularly the case in the financial services and pharmaceutical sectors. However, businesses are becoming adept at finding ways to secure intellectual property rights in markets where infringement is common. In the Asian market, for example, our clients tend to invest in organizations where there is secure IP and the right access to growth, or where organizations offer products whose core elements are developed outside the market. Overall, our survey shows that IP infringement has become less of a headache for companies. Only 6% of respondents to our survey ranked the lack of intellectual property protection as a key factor for doing business in their key markets. The challenges of navigating regulatory environments become even greater when doing business across jurisdictions that have very different degrees of regulation. Some of our pharmaceutical clients tell us that the process can be very cumbersome, because once you have a drug approved in one EU country, you have to go to almost every other one, and it's similar in the US. Europe is under pressure because of the financial crisis, and this has an impact on the regulatory environment. Getting access to the market with all the approvals needed has become more difficult. In the US, a company has to be registered in every state, and they don't necessarily have the same laws. Regulatory harmonization is viewed as critical to facilitating international transactions by some of our financial services clients. Some of our clients even argue that this is where a US-European trading agreement could help, spurring greater moves by trading partners such as China to bring their regulations into line with other countries.